And thank you for the opportunity to be able to meet with you this evening. First of all, let me start this evening by thanking the Lord for His guidance and His direction. Both myself and my party have benefited from His Spirit throughout the duration of this campaign, and in particular, all of the members of our party and well-wishers who greeted me every day and telling me about the amount of prayer that they've put into this campaign. I just want to acknowledge the Lord, and I also want to acknowledge their participation and support in this campaign. I also want to this evening to acknowledge the Prime Minister's concession statement, and I want to be able to acknowledge the people of this country for the support that they've given me and United Workers' Party, and the confidence that they've given in us today to be able to guide and manage this economy. Our party is taking over at a very difficult time in the history of our country. There are many things that the government have not been truthful about. One is the state of the economy. The level of debt that we've incurred. This government has accumulated over $1 billion of debt in the last 5 years. And the result of that is that interest payments have increased from $100 million to over $170 million. So that's an increase in recurrent expenditure of $70 million a year just in interest payments. Obviously, all of us know already about the unemployment rate in this country, and that there are many projects that this government has started just in the recent weeks that my government would be immediately reviewing and determining whether we're going to continue with those projects. But first, the people of this country, this has been their campaign, and I want to thank them for the support and what they have done in energizing us and energizing themselves. And I think that United Workers' Party has touched on a very important element in any country. You cannot have economic development that leaves people behind and doesn't take into consideration the more vulnerable people in our society. And many solutions have opened up their door to me and members of my party. And we've all witnessed firsthand the suffering and the plight that people are going through. And it's very difficult for anyone to look forward to getting up every morning when the first consideration is whether I'm actually going to be able to get food on the table. And that's how bad things have gotten in this country. Far less the ability to be able to send my children to school and have any hope that something is going to happen. When single mothers who are unemployed and are struggling themselves, that the only thing they can look forward to is getting a contract in step, and when they're being treated the most indignant way, cutting grass on the side of the road, and the government not even providing portaloos for them. These are the things that I believe that touch the people, that our party recognized as some of the ills that are taking place. And I think any responsible government has to be able to address the needs of those most vulnerable people. And that is what this campaign has been about. And so the Five to Stay Alive program was specifically to be able to do that, is to put some money back into people's pocket, to gain some confidence in this economy by increasing consumption. And that is going to be the focus of our government. I indicated to Solutions that winning the election for me and for my party, as difficult as it was, we realized that that wasn't really the most difficult thing that we're going to have to achieve. And that we are not going to be wasting time over celebrating this victory simply because there are too many people suffering in this country for us to do that. I will be looking to be sworn in hopefully tomorrow, and I'm going to be moving expeditiously to be able to announce a cabinet as quickly as possible. That announcement will first come after consultation with my colleagues. But tonight, I want to recognize the yeoman work by some of our candidates. Sarah Flood, who came in very, very late and ran a phenomenal campaign. Jimmy Henry, despite the fact that he lost, the level of energy that he brought to our campaign. Mary Isaac, who showed tonight that money isn't everything. It's the relationship that you have with your constituents. And I think that Mary has done an incredible job, and obviously losing only by 40 votes, and that there were 75 spoiled ballots, is that we are going to be prepared tomorrow morning to review the recount and to do everything we can to ensure that Mary is given that seat, because we believe that she worked hard and we believe that she is the best candidate for Castries South. I want to congratulate Spider Montoute, who a lot of people had written off, and came back and got a resounding victory. The Honorable Stevenson King, for really running a phenomenal campaign. I don't think it was ever even close. Guy Joseph, who a lot of people had written off and that had come under, like myself, an attack by the government, and showed that the people of Castries Southeast are solidly behind him. Edmund Estefan now, who's won his seat for the third time. Dominique Fede, who's a first-timer, and really had a very hard battle throughout the nomination and then also obviously in the elections. And winning by over 400 votes really was a credit to him. And probably the two victories that are very, very sweet for me, one obviously is Soufriere. And for Herod Stanislaus to have won by, I think right now, 359 votes is really an incredible achievement. Many people didn't think it could be done, but I always knew from the time that Herod was my campaign manager that he had the magic and that he would make a difference. And I'm just so proud of him and in terms of what he's been able to achieve. And I also want to thank the people from Soufriere and Fonsègue for their politics. And we'd started conversations, and he's done an incredible job and winning the seat so convincingly. And the last one really is, Jean-Pierre, who, ran a fantastic campaign and clearly is going to have a role in our government. And Doc Mondesi, I think the final number is somewhere like 120 to take on the sitting Prime Minister, who won by over 1,000 votes previously and had won that seat, I think, 4 consecutive times. What an incredible feat that he did without much resources, I can tell you. And that was just people on the ground. And I think that there's a resounding message that people of this country were fed up with Prime Minister Kenny Anthony and were disappointed in the Labour Party. But saying that, this is also a time for us to heal and for us to be able to move forward. And I'm hoping that all St. Lucians will take heed of what we've done in our party. The inclusion of Sarah, who used to be formerly a Labour, Peterson Francis, Herman Gill Francis, Eubaldus Raymond, Tim Mangal, all these people were members of the Labour Party. And we've encouraged them to join our party because we see it being bigger than the United Workers' Party. We want to bring the best and the brightest and the most committed people to, we believe, that have a soul, that have a conscience in moving this $35 a box, the ability to bring financing to the table and also to bring inputs to the table. And the government will have to support it with irrigation support, but we are committed to getting that banana sector off the ground. The reason is that our rural areas are dying, and this is going to be a great opportunity to revive the rural areas. I've asked the FCCA, the president, Michelle Page, I spoke to her. We were happy to hear that we're going to be reducing VAT and eventually eliminating VAT. So in the reduction of VAT, there will be some sectors that we will look to be zero rating in order that we can become competitive on a global basis again. I have, hopefully, again, I want to thank members of the media for the support they gave our party during the elections. The public, again, for the amazing job, the energy that they gave us, the support that they gave us, and the confidence they've instilled in us today. So again, thank you very, very much. And again, want to acknowledge the Prime Minister's concession and to let him know that I wish him and his family all the best in the future.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Shastri. What did the Prime Minister tell you if you spoke with him, and what was his tone when he spoke with you?
Unfortunately, I've not spoken to the Prime Minister, so I'm only reacting to the statement that he put out. And so, like everybody else, I've read before I've consulted my colleagues. As I indicated to you, Alan Chastanet is a leader of leaders, and this is something in which there's going to be a very democratic process. But there has been discussion, and we have to make a statement to the public of St. Lucia. We must make a statement to the regional and international organizations that St. Lucia does mean business, and that we do recognize that we have major deficiencies economically and the sustainability of our economy. So there has to be efficiency, because as I indicated, we're not looking to make any major cost-cutting exercises, but we are looking to reprioritize where monies are being spent. This government has been a dismal failure, because when you look at the amount of money they've spent and the fact that we've had 3 years of consecutive contraction, they have borrowed in excess of $200 million a year, and they've not even been able to begin to open up the 2 new hospitals. The international airport is a complete fiasco. So when the Prime is able to get jobs that pay well, that can become careers, but more importantly, jobs that are actually paying tax program.